Hi YouTube, how are you doing? I'm doing okay. My lighting is really messed up right here. I didn't get my new curtains put up yet. We've had a lot going on around here. Nothing too horribly bad. Well, aside from Doug has a split on top of his head, cracked his skull. At first I thought it was just like a puncture, but he had a 4x4 fall on his head. So yeah, no, it was pretty radical. Scared me. I mean, I'm not I'm not one to really. I mean, I've been in operating rooms seeing other people being cut and whatever, and I could hold myself together. But this one, it's not that it made me sick to my stomach or anything, but it did. It stunned me. But yeah, but he kept working. He had his hat on, and that stopped the bleeding for a while. I was gonna bandage it, but he actually really probably should have had stitches. But he's kind of like me. We have things happen to us, and we take care of ourselves. So anyway, yeah, for that part, yeah, but mostly around here things have been going pretty smooth. We're just buttoning things up for winter time. We're never really get done with getting ready for winter. you know, I don't think we're ever been entirely ready. There's always more you can do outside when you have a country place. There's always more you can do before the snow flies. So, yeah, that's about what we're doing. And I don't know if I'm making this video for my friends or my enemies. I'll tell you about it. It's been sad for a while. I eliminated a long time friend. Just made the decision. That's just enough. But he wasn't really a good friend because he'd talk to me when he needed something or when his life wasn't going smooth. I mean, I had actually blocked him one time and got rid of him, and he followed me over on Facebook and messaged me a few years later. This has happened with a couple different people, but this one in particular, and I was like, okay, I'll come back and yeah, we'll do this friendship thing and whatever. But if he's got other things going on in his life, he'll literally just ignore me if he's getting like if he can get money out of people and might be people that really don't like me and I really don't like them, then he'll ignore me. So it's like, okay, and this is like the second time this has happened. It's like I'm done. Now when he's down in the dumps and down in the dirt and he wants to know why, that's why. They'll all be like that eventually. Well, we will all be like that. That's not my topic. I've been making a lot of new friends that aren't ashamed or embarrassed to treat me like the human being and the woman of integrity that I am. They talk to me like I deserve, you know, not to be ignored and to value my love and my intelligence instead of making it seem and appear to be something that they can mold and deal with when they want to and how they want to. No, I'm not pliable like that. I don't do that. So, yeah, I've been finding some really good friends, and a lot of them are in high standing in society. So, when I get this video, not this one, but the one I'm going to do on the part two, dual gods of this world, I'm going to have a larger audience worldwide to spread my information. That, and these people cannot be swayed by the dark force. They hate this shit just as much as I do. So yeah. But what I'm going to be talking about briefly is a lot of Christian channels are like, if they misunderstand you, let them, or even some of the Joker channels. No, I don't let nobody do shit. I speak so clear that I don't leave you any room to misunderstand me. So, um, and that's something anybody that knows me knows that for a fact. If you want to hear something condensed and get the truth out there in the quickest way possible with no room for error, I'm your woman. I'm going to say it so plainly that even the smallest child is going to be able to grasp what I'm saying. So, yeah, they're not, people aren't misunderstanding. It's an intentional ignorance. And ignorance isn't bliss, ignorance comes with a price. So, anyway, that's really about all my messages today. There's no misunderstanding. They know full well what they're doing. This is the time we're living in. People are not naive like that, you know. I'm not naive. People think, well, I give my love and then my feelings get hurt and, you know, there's nothing I can do about it. Oh, but I can. The minute I cry, that friendship's over. Or if I don't cry at all, it probably never was there. But yeah, the minute if I have any tears over anybody, especially if I thought they were a longtime friend, it's over. I mean, if it's a repeated feeling and finally the dam breaks, well, damn it. That's it. That's the end of it. Then briefly, I'm going to touch on something I was talking about on Facebook yesterday. In case some of my Facebook friends hear this, I put a post out about how my ex and my brother had slept with each other and how my children, my sons, were abused by these people, and I couldn't do anything about it because the Masons were involved in protecting anybody but me and my children that were targeted intentionally. And I'll tell you the difference in that in a second here. So, yeah, the father of my kids, after I kicked him out, moved into another state. And I tried to, a lot of people are going to think, well, yeah, I mean, I went and got a legal separation. So I wasn't responsible for any of his bills because he was really a shady, or is, whatever he's doing, no clue. But, and I don't care. But I mean, as long as he's not hurting other people or my kids, but I still have no clue on what he does and I don't care. Besides, I'd like to see him die before I do. So I know that it's gone. But anyway, at least part of it. Okay, so, but I couldn't do anything about it. And I had went to the police and, my oldest son didn't really want to, with his dad being gone, it was such a weird situation the way um things went down that they made my sons wanting what they didn't have, if that makes any sense. And I had raised my sons about 5.5 years by myself after that. then I tried to get some financial help. In the meantime, he had married into some money and they were able to take my kids from me. I almost fell apart. Some of you, my haters, you can laugh, but you're going to pay for that fucking laughing at my pain and what happened to my children. But then they did come back eventually. They couldn't handle them. But I'm going to tell you the difference. One of my sons was abused by a man. Um, they had asked me, this neighbor guy had gotten a car. My kids were 9 and 12, if they could ride home instead of taking the school bus. And I said, no, I don't know this guy. And he's too old for you to be hanging around with. He was an 18-year-old that sexually abused my 12-year-old. And I took him to court and I had him prosecuted and put in jail, but he wasn't masonically connected. And it was in another county. That's the difference between trying to take somebody to court that's affiliated and somebody that's not. And that's also the connection of how hard my children were targeted by the same sex. You think I got some issues about people for different reasons. It has nothing to do with what anybody does away from children. I don't care. A lot of people, oh, I have gay friends. I do have gay friends that don't children, you know? So, and that's about all I really wanted to talk about today. Just kind of give you a scope of how I feel about things and why I'm feeling that way. And for my enemies that thought they were hurting and humiliating me, you couldn't have hurt me if I hadn't extended my love. And I did, and now I withdrew it. Now what? Now you have the cold part. Enjoy that. You should recognize it. I sure did. So, anyway. So that's about it, everybody. I just wanted to say hello and give you a heads up on what's going on. And yeah, I'm waiting for a bigger audience because these people think they got away with not just screwing with me, but with other people too. It's not going to happen anymore, and I will put an end to it. You think, well, one person can't really do a whole lot. You'd be surprised at the amount of psychological combat out here that I have squelched all on my own through the decades with my mind alone and absolutely zero help from anybody. So they can talk about their PhDs and all their education, and that doesn't mean anything if you can't actually apply it. And if you're applying it to just use people, I'm the person that's going to rip your fucking world apart. And I've started doing this a long time ago. Don't pretend like I changed. I didn't change. And I didn't give my love in the wrong area. I found just who I needed to find and why. So you can pretend. That's okay. I'm not big on pretenses or pretenders. Around here, we call them liars. Yeah. And that's what, it's not a misunderstanding. That's my point of the day. So, okay, everybody, thank you for joining me. Peace and love from everybody so afraid. Oh, don't tell them where you live. I don't fucking care. What are you so afraid of? You know, are you afraid of me? Well, you should be, but I'm not afraid of you. Understand that? Okay, whatever. Goodbye. See you later.